What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. Seal, how's it going, bud?
It's going great. I think that means that we're going to have a great episode for how fitting that was. I thought I had a couple more seconds at the beginning there to get that thing popped open. But hey, cheers to this fucking episode. This is my first beer since Sunday. I'm only
Nice.
drinking on game days, but tonight we're celebrating the fact that I have a job
Wait,
that
why are you
actually
drinking on game days?
just not that's I'm not going to be drinking just to try to get the inflammation and stuff from like the
Yeah,
beers
but
and
but
stuff
why are
down
you drinking? Game day's the day I don't drink.
after the game.
Oh,
If
after
I'm
the
the
game. All
last
right,
game, if I'm the last game, I probably won't drink.
gotcha,
But after the game, be able to have a beer or two with the boys and
gotcha.
watch the
Okay.
games. It's always fun. Good camaraderie thing. So I wasn't gonna stop completely, but and then I still have all the leftover beer from this past Sunday in the fridge, so I grabbed one and I was like, it's an episode, and celebrate all the champions. Celebrate I got a job that actually cares about the fact that I have family and and things that I like to do outside of work. So
We'll see if they
we'll see
care
how
in a
that
few
goes.
weeks. What's your average work time?
Oh, bro, no, I already. So whenever I went on hot schedules, I went on and took all the Sundays off, besides the ones I can't, and he approved all of them. And he was like, I know we already previously discussed before your interview, you were honest about it. He's like, we're gonna be able to accommodate you, dude. That's not a problem at
Yeah,
all.
but
We're
that
not
that
gonna
that
go back
should
on our word.
happen. That should be the norm. Like, why the fuck is that a surprise? Like, not surprise, but why is that something that like that's
Because the
that's what's
restaurant
such
industry,
bullshit. That's what's
especially in
such bullshit.
Florida, you can literally show up and they can tell you, I don't like your face, you're fired. Just they don't like your face that day, you're fired.
California, you
And
can too.
you can go through all the courts and all this shit, but there's so many different ways they can just say, hey, they didn't show up that day. I figured they quit. And like
No,
you didn't
California can
fucking, you
literally
got fired.
like tell the court like, no, we don't like him. As long as you're not black,
Yeah,
you're good. Like you're
not a good
fired.
fit. Even most times, then they have, because that's why all these places we don't discriminate. We don't. So when
Yeah.
that stuff happens, they can say, look at our track record. Like, listen, this is Florida. We have a billion different loopholes we can go through to where we don't have to pay fucking unemployment, to where we don't have to go through lawsuits. Like they
We have
quit.
that too. It's just that on the flip side, California is so like Sioux friendly that the companies will just pay it out. They're like, you know what, fuck it. We don't even want to deal with this shit. But like, yeah, it's at will is what they call it. I think at will
Yeah.
hiring, and that just means if they feel like firing you, they just fire you. They don't give a fuck. But California, you just go, all right, I'm gonna sue you, and they're like, all right, we'll give you 50 grand to not do that, and you're like, all right, cool, I'm good.
Yeah, bro. But cheers. Cheers to and the thing is, they're based out of Mexico, so that's probably it.
Mm, that probably is it, because there's probably like real, actual, good people there. It's
Yeah.
fucking ridiculous. No, anyways, so do we want to start with our shitty week of rec, or do we want to end with that? What do you think Joe wants to hear? Slash the
Uh,
listeners.
I think we can go into the meat first. There's not too much meat on this episode,
That's true.
so
Yeah,
we can go
so
through that and
we
then
got a
finish
couple
just with
champs.
our
That's the meat.
free talk. Yeah, dog.
Couple of new champs, both
It's
both
it,
sports. That's cool.
and yeah, and both sports too. Historical losers. This could have
Mm.
been a historical win for both, but historical losers in the fact you have teams from the same municipal area getting beat in the same exact fashion, 4-1 in a 5-game playoff series, and an also historic feat. Drake fucking called it. Drake
Good job.
fucking
Good job,
called
Drake.
it. He put like what 300,000 on a 4-1 Nuggets series win for the finals. He fucking called it. That's
The
crazy. A
Drake
lot
curse
of
can't beat
historical feat.
Jokic.
Oh no, the Drake curse is still very much real, but yes, he cannot beat
Well,
Jokic. You are
he
absolutely
beat
correct
it.
in
He
that.
beat it with the second Izzy fight, but he did put less on the second Izzy fight. So he put a lot on the first Izzy fight and lost, and then put a little less on the second Izzy fight and then won. So that's kind of funny.
And the curse is still there, I feel like, but it's yeah, it was crazy, man. And to be down here in South Florida, you accidentally listened to the right radio station I told you to, but the wrong one. I was trying to get you to listen to, and you could hear, and that what those two gentlemen were saying, because I immediately, once I got off the phone and came back outside, they were still, what, 10 minutes after I told you it was the wrong station, they were still talking about like their hopes that they could come
Mhm.
back. And that was 2-1 at that point. And
Right.
that was the whole South Florida area. Even people who aren't, like people like me, I'm a Cavs fan, but you just see all these people smiling, all these people happy coming together, and it was kind of cool to see. And nobody was like going to tell them like, yo, it's not going to happen. You just sat back and watched, because these people very much so believe that even though both were down 2-1, that they were going to come back after those game 3 victories, and really, or game 2, and my Miami's case, really get it done. And it didn't happen.
Well, let's start with the sport we follow the least because we won't have as much to say. But Vegas Golden Knights, congratulations to them. They put a
Okay.
fucking hurt on the Panthers, 9-3 in the
Nine to
final game.
three, bro.
I didn't watch. I was at a basketball game of my own. But Eddie, of course, kept me in the loop and texted me that the cup stays within, or not stays, but the cup resides in Nevada. And I was like, damn, that's going to be a fucking dope parade. And then I forgot, which it is going to be a dope parade, but I forgot the Vegas already had the Aces, the WNBA team last year. I'm sure the parade wasn't as good, but it's now the second Vegas championship. So I thought it was a brand new championship for the city, but no, there is WNBA. But as far as the Big Four, soccer's not even included in that. As far as the Big Four is going, this is the first major championship in Vegas history, and I know it's going to be crazy. I don't know when the parade is, but it's going to be fucking awesome. And they put it down. They made it really easy. Vegas was clearly the better team, and the time off really had to hurt Florida. Florida was far and away like an 8 seed. They shouldn't have been there. They were riding a hot streak, and then they had to rest. I think it was like 10 days before game one of the finals, and you could tell they were a completely different team. I watched, I think, 2 of the 5 games, and they were a completely different team. It was pretty crazy to see.
Exactly. And my biggest takeaway from that is, like, we both have went through long seasons and stuff, and now just us getting out feels like we've gone through a long season just to be on the court that day. And we both know if we stop, we're fucked. Once we
Yep.
sit down on that bench, it's hard to loosen back up. It's hard to get things going. And we're about to find out all these hockey players. The Panthers guy kind of went through a couple of things.
Yeah.
What's his name? Matt Chuck. Um, he could barely get his fucking pads and shirt and shit on before game 4 before he went out there. Like we're gonna come and find out all this shit that these guys went through, and to have to sit around for 10 days, and like it's hard to practice when your focus is physical training and rehab and them just trying to get better. And in those 10 days, you're getting better and getting stiffer at the same time. And you could definitely see in that series, they just weren't the same. That's why they came out a little like bratty, trying to
Mm.
chip, trying to fight, trying to slow the game down, just try to get their skates underneath them. And you saw it the whole series. And once after game 3 hit, game 4 and 5 were just fucking were crazy.
Yeah. And then yeah, game 5 put it down. The only stat I know is that Stone got a hat trick, so I assume that's the only good stat aside from the 9-3 that happened.
Before the
Uh,
second intermission, I think.
Nice. Did he win the final? Or they don't do finals MVP, right? They do the entire
I
playoff
don't think.
MVP.
Yeah,
So I think the other Marchessault or
I'm
whatever
pretty
probably
sure.
got it right. Um, because if they do the full, and again, I didn't watch like out of the whole
I have no idea.
out of the whole
Sorry,
NHL
Eddie.
playoffs, I probably watched 5 games, which is I'd say pretty solid for an average American. Um,
Yeah, I watched
but
about 3
nice. So yeah,
for
we're right around
Floridian.
average. We're right around
A born
average. So.
Floridian. Yeah, you have it,
Um,
but see, I guess I'm an hour away. It's probably an hour. No, how far away is in? We don't have to get
Anaheim,
into
it's
it.
like 20 minutes. I can get there quick. Well,
Yeah,
right now, it's 20 minutes. With game day, it's probably 45 minutes, who knows, an hour.
Yeah.
But where I used to
So
live, I could ride my bike there faster than I could drive there.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I used to live right down. Like it was a 10-minute bike ride, but then it was like a 15-minute drive, which was fucking annoying. Because you can't
And they were
ride your
probably
bike or
cheap
else
as
that bitch
shit.
is getting stolen. So you can't actually
Yeah,
do that.
right. But yeah, no, shout out to New Oakland. New Oakland is really on the rise with a lot of sports that is from Oakland, and the hockey team that probably would have ended up in Oakland is in Vegas.
And how
It's
about
crazy as fuck, bro. Just
in
think
the
like
meantime, let's shout out to the real Oakland trying to fucking the fans. Did you
that's what
see
I'm
them?
saying.
They
Yeah,
fucking
and
showed
where's the
up,
baseball team going
bro.
to go? Where's the baseball team going? The same place the football team went, the same place the hockey team they were going to
Yeah,
get five,
but
10 years ago
they
ended
didn't
up
vote,
inevitably
and now
going
the
to Vegas.
fans are
It's
showing
fucking New
up.
Oakland in Vegas.
Now the fans are showing up though, and they said, you know what, fuck this. We're
They're
actually
going
gonna
to
show
build a
up.
fucking nice, great ass baseball stadium on the lot where the fucking T-Mobile Arena was originally going to go behind the Lexer or whatever
Oh,
the
for
fuck it
sure it's
was.
going to Vegas, but at least they're fighting it. It's cool.
It's
I'm excited.
hilarious. Yeah, so they literally have averaged like 700 tickets. That's minor league baseball. You go to a minor league team, you can see 150, 200 people at any point in time. That's insane. They
Me and
had
Jake,
triple.
me and
What's
Jake
up?
went to a game last year in Oakland against the Astros. So a rivalry game against the Astros, and we counted 78 people. Now, some people might have been getting beer or some, but I don't know. But in the middle of like the third inning with action going, we counted 78 people. So if you count the people in the concourse, let's give them another double that. 150 people. Like that's ridiculous.
You got box seats, people that corporate seating
Yeah.
tickets, but attendance, actual attendance, not bought tickets, attendance, scanned tickets through the
Terrible.
fucking gate. They had triple that at 2,500. Like, no, I think it was four times the average at
Yeah.
2,500, and literally everybody. It had to be a planned thing between these 2,500 people because all you heard was sell the team.
Yeah. It was
That's
great though, man. I'm down
crazy.
for it.
It's crazy, and it sucks. It sucks that they don't care because like you can see, rewind. What was it? A year or 2 years ago, the Cincinnati Reds. Was it the owner of the team, the mayor of the city? Somebody in Cincinnati came out like on the field opening day, and paraphrase, "We're not going anywhere. If the team was to sell, the team would leave. If that's what you want, by all means, keep hoping for it. But I'm not selling. We're not leaving," type
Yeah.
shit. And now you see what the Reds are doing this year. You would hope that something like that would happen for the A's, but nah, that's a team that's literally collecting MLB checks. Like they don't give two fucks about the city. They don't give two fucks about the fans, which sucks. Because when we think back growing up, we used to see random ass people wearing A's
Mm.
hats. A lot of fucking Babe Ruth League teams. We always saw an
Yeah,
Oakland
that's
A's in
true.
there somewhere.
Yeah.
That cheat and swole fuck um, was everywhere. What was his name?
Mark
With the
McGuire.
black hair.
Oh,
No,
Jose
his
Canseco?
buddy, Jose
Yeah.
Canseco. Had the A's on the map. Like for us in the '90s, the A's were a really big team. The West Coast was popping. Actually, thinking back,
Yeah.
the Mariners, like the West Coast up there, the Northwest was kind of popping. But now when you think about Oakland, it's sad, and you would hope for a kind of turnaround since he's had that. Seattle has had a rejuvenation these last 5 6 years. But yeah, it sucks. It's sad, and they're going to be moving to New Oakland as another sports team that's going to Vegas, and it's crazy. San Fran didn't have that nice, beautifully made stadium
Mm.
for then they could have a men's pro basketball team over there in the Warriors in New Oakland. That would be fucking insane.
That would have been nuts. No, the problem is that San Francisco is so close, right? And so nice. No knock on Oakland. If we have any Oakland visitors or listeners, then
Oh
good on
no,
you. But
knock on Oakland.
But San Francisco's a
I've
better
never
city.
been there, but honestly, I would probably skip out. I've never heard anything good about Oakland
Like I
ever.
said, the city of Oakland is fine. Whatever, it's a city. Who cares? But the fact that San Francisco is literally across the bridge, like Palaca to East Palaca, and you have a better city, like a better big time. You have the Giants, you have stuff. If you're a kid growing up and you're like, I want to go to a baseball game, you're not going to East Palaca. You're just gonna go to you're gonna go right across the bridge and go, I'd rather watch these guys. And when they were winning championships over and over and over again in the early 2000s, it's a wrap. You're not gonna keep your team that way. The Giants stole everything. Oakland, Golden State going over to San Francisco is big, and yeah, there's just no shot for them. But I love to see that the fans were like, "Hey, we'll give one last ditch effort." But sadly, that's all they had was like 2,500 people to get that done. So it's sad, but I thought it was cool that they at least showed up. They could pull Tampa Bay and be in first place and average 2,500 fans. So I don't know how
Yeah,
many
that's
Tampa Bay
insane.
averages, but I hope it's more than that.
That's insane. Hey, Tampa Bay might be the next Disney team too.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah, they
All right, so
did. Yeah, they're thinking about making a huge, nice baseball stadium there and trying to drag Tampa into it. The
that's dumb.
Rays.
That's dumb. All right. So, anyways, shout out to Vegas. We don't really have much more to say because we don't watch a lot of hockey, but Kachuk tried. He's going to be getting a lot of surgeries and a lot of shit. Good for him, or not good for him, but hopefully he'll be ready for next year. It was a fun year. Hopefully Detroit's back, right? That's all me and Sil care about. And so it's been a down decade at
We
this
will be
point.
for a week.
It's been a down decade at this point. So we don't watch
Well,
a lot of hockey, but congrats to both of those teams, and then of course to Vegas to bring it home. I'm excited to see a bunch of the criminal reports from the parade. So let's move to the NBA, and this one was one we called. This one was one I called, and everybody just said I was a bitter fan, but I called it as soon as like game 1 and 2 of the Suns were over. I said, all right, Denver's too good. Nobody can fucking touch them. And I was just a bitter fan, whatever. Now it's come to fruition. It's happened. The big three, and it's weird because the big three is not including Michael Porter Jr. at this point. It's including Aaron Gordon. But to have those two guys be interchangeable, because Aaron Gordon had a bad Western Conference Finals, Porter Jr. stepped up. Porter Jr.'s had a bad final, Gordon stepped up. So that team was just too stacked. And we'll talk about the future in a minute, but in the current, like this was a huge win for them to have drafted players to do their thing, to do everything the right way, and win this way without having to bring in any crazy people, except for Aaron Gordon, who's above average, I guess. But so shout out to the Nuggets.
well, yeah. I mean, you talk about bringing in crazy people. They kind of did bring in. Am I breaking up or is it just? I hope it's just you and it'll fix on the
Yeah,
internet.
I don't know.
But I don't know. My yeah, all these things with these kids in here, hooked up. But yeah, you think about it. Bruce Brown, I think, got there this year. Christian Brown drafted this year. Um, KCP got there last year, or no, 2021. He went there right after the Lakers bubble championship, I believe. Um, Aaron Gordon, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, he got shipped out of Disney World.
Yeah, I
These
don't know how
big
long.
pieces that they have on their team are relatively new, and most of that is in ownership and the executive office and the GMs, and not folding, not giving up on that core of Mike Malone, on Jamal Murray, even though he was crippled for what, 2 years, 2 plus years,
Hmm.
and then Jokic, who just seemed like they just couldn't get over the hump with him. I mean, they tried all kinds of things for the last 5 years, and they weren't even really relevant because of their market. So they really believed they had that core. They just had to find those pieces. They pick up Aaron Gordon and they trust in him. They don't give up on him after 2 seasons. He's there. What, this is season 4, season 5 with them, something like that.
Something.
They
Yeah.
didn't give up on him. They kept him. They didn't dump him. They didn't give up on Mike Malone when they thought about
Mm.
it after the bubble, and they thought about it after 2021, and he just kept showing them that there's something here. We just gotta find it, and it seems like they did. Jamal Murray got healthy, and they had the right pieces. They had the right backups, and they had a Jokic who can play 38 minutes. If you have that type of person that can play that long, it's inevitable to be able to get the championship done at one point or another. And now we got to think that this kid's only 28. Jamal Murray, I think, is the same age, 27, 28 years old. So this core is going to be prime basketball prime for another 4 years. And it seems like they have the pieces, they have the guys that can get it done. And three of them being drafted in the last 3 years. And I just mentioned Michael Porter Jr. and that three people being drafted in the
Yeah.
last two people being drafted in the last 3 years. That's crazy. And they have these guys that are going to be around for at least another 3 years. And that's really hard to find in a core. We see it every single year in these championship teams. At least one piece gets dropped. We're going to see with Miami. They're not going to be able to keep these five guys who just secured a bag, but
Right.
the Nuggets are because they have guys that are
No, they're
drafted.
not.
Bruce Brown's not going anywhere. Kristen
Yeah, he
Brown
is.
just got drafted. Michael Porter Jr. is getting the bag. Like this core of role players is going to be able to
Bruce
stick around
Brown's
for at
gone
least
unless he
another two
takes a
years.
discount for sure.
Bruce Brown doesn't, bro. The guy's been in the league, and that's why people need to like. This guy's been in the league for a minute. All right, all right. This
He
guy's been in
said
the
he
league for a
wants to
minute.
stay, so I mean that's
Yeah,
part of it. So
Aaron Gordon Jr. has been. Aaron Gordon is locked in, though. I do believe Aaron Gordon,
yeah,
the big
Aaron Gordon
three,
has to stay.
is locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're locked in. But this role play, they have the ability. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's just they have the ability. He doesn't even really have to take too much of a discount. In the
He
fact
just
that
has to
he's not
keep
going to be
getting paid what he's
making.
getting now. But
Yeah, but I don't think he deserves if he wants to win another. But this core is going to be able to stay together. They're not going to go out and get bags. It's not like there's not an Austin Reeves type player who can go from a role player to being a top like Austin Reeves can legit be a top 3 scoring option on a team. Bruce
no.
Brown's not going to do it. Michael Porter Jr. is not going to do it. Christian Brown's not going to fucking do it. Aaron Gordon could possibly be the only one to do it, but he was a 4th overall pick 7 years ago
Yeah.
and still hasn't
Aaron
been able to
Gordon
do it.
did it and it sucked. The Magic never made the
Yeah.
playoffs. So
Yeah. So, I mean, these guys aren't going to go get that bag money. And I personally don't think like, so I really feel like this is a core that can go start that dynasty type shit and end up running the West for at least 2 more years. Like, we could see a three-peat come just because the main piece is not
yeah.
a Steph Curry that is volatile to injury for one. And when he's out, you have to have Klay Thompson, another one of the best shooters. Like this team is set up for success and longevity. They don't have this superstar that is one dimensional. This guy can be a Steph Curry and put up 10 threes in a game, or he can be the Shaq and get 40 points in the paint, or he can be the James Harden and go to the line 20 fucking times, or he can be the point guard and get 15 dimes. Like the way this team is built around this one dude, it's they could go back to back to back to
I
back
agree with
to
you on
back.
that sentiment, but I do think some of the role players are going to be gone. But the issue is like even if they get rid of Bruce Brown, right? There is going to be so many people that say I want to play with Jokic one fucking year. All those people that went and played with LeBron just because they were like, hey, if you're on LeBron's team, you're gonna win 50 games in a year. You're or 55 probably. You're going to have a shot in the playoffs. That's Jokic now. And so these other guys are going to say, I will come sign a 1 year deal. If nobody's giving me that max deal I want, let me sign 1 year here in Denver and let Jokic elevate my numbers more than they deserve to be. And then let me go get the bag. So I agree with you that they could repeat, three-peat, do all that stuff. But I think it's more not that they're keeping everybody around, but that they're going to keep Jokic, Murray, and then the Porter. Maybe they might even get rid of Porter if Gordon can shoot in practice or something. But they're going to be signing the players that go, I want to just play 1 year and have a shot to win. No offense to these guys, we'll probably shout them out later, but the Jeff Greens, the Ish
Yeah,
Smith, he
the
didn't do
DeAndre
anything.
Jordans,
But the
Ish
DeAndre
Smith,
Jordans, those
like
guys, they're going to go sign
those
those
roster
guys for the
spots are
rest of
gonna
the
get.
time.
No, I feel like those roster spots now that everybody's put on notice, and it's not even. I
Yeah.
feel like people in the league are always the first ones aware, right? Like
Hmm.
everybody knew what Kobe Bryant's like fucking grit was about when he was young coming in. Everybody knew about his ethic. Maybe nobody knew at the time what it was going to be, but everybody knew the work he was putting in. You know, it wasn't a secret among the guys. It was just the fact that he was in LA and able to start in his second season and end up being in the All Stars and all that stuff. That probably won't happen in Denver. He's
Right.
not going to get that much media. Like the guys are going to be like, "Yo, this cat in Denver, Kobe is a fucking monster. We just don't fucking see him because he's in Denver." Same shit going on now. We've known for the last 5 years that Joker was the shit. We've been talking about him on this podcast
Yeah.
forever. I think when me, you, and Eddie did a basketball draft, he was like the first center taken. Um, but like and nobody was giving him his flowers until his first MVP, and then last year he gets his back to back, and then this year you literally hear every I'm so sick of this whatever the hell this is in this room, but you have everybody and their mom talking about three's too many. No, the fuck it's not. He can win the next 10 and it will be
Right.
validated. It's just people haven't all these media people haven't been able to see the credibility that he deserves and that he has earned. And I feel like now that that's happened, you're not going to have a DeAndre Jordan roster spot available because you're going to have top tier
A better
DeAndre
person.
Jordan,
Yeah.
yeah, coming out that's going to play for you and take that $6 million discount and play for 8 million instead of 14, 15 million a year that he could have made on every other team at least.
Right.
And that's going to get you a great player, and that's going to get you a younger player that's not getting that contract that he wants or that's not getting the option that he wants. They're not going to go have to go out and get the Rondos and the Melos and the DeAndre Jordans. They're gonna have these guys young and ready and hungry
Mm.
and ready to play. And I'm excited to see it. I like it. The last 5 years, we've had five different champions. Three of them Toronto, small market, Milwaukee, small market, and Denver now, small market. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm just ready for another small market Cleveland to get back in
Phoenix.
that rotation. Yeah, right. But I'm here for it, and I think the way the NBA set up, we're gonna have more of this stuff going on. Except, like we already stated, like this could be the team that truly everybody runs to. We talked about forever how anybody would play with LeBron, but it didn't seem like a lot of young people were willing
Mm.
to do it. And when they did, it didn't work out for the most part. Most of the time, with him, it seemed up being the young, older guys that would come through and do good with him. But it seems like anybody can truly play and be elevated by the game of Nikola Jokic. And I'm excited to see where it goes. And again, for South Florida fans, they need to realize the run they had, similar to
Yeah.
the hockey. I think the hockey is more difficult. Just I feel like hockey, so many line shifts. What is it like 13? Players 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, four line shifts, including the
Yeah.
goalie. So there's like 13 players
Well,
that
the
play.
defense only has a couple of lines, but the offense, the three guys have like four lines, and then the defense has like two or three lines, and then the goalies, of course. But yeah, it's
Okay.
crazy.
But yeah, it's insane, and it's literally 90 seconds line shift, 90 seconds line shift for 60 minutes. It's definitely a true team sport. Now, I will say, actually, no, fuck it. Vegas proved it. If you can find the fourth goalie to be good, you
Right.
can win a Stanley Cup. I mean, so I won't even say it. You kind of have to have a great goalie. Nah, you can fucking find a decent one, and as long as your offense can put up 9 and keep them to
Right.
3, you're good to go. But yeah, no, it's I will say that what the Panthers were able to do in my eyes was a little bit more remarkable. I'm not even going to pull out the injuries of Milwaukee, the fucking just complete of the Celtics defensively for 4 games. And it was the 4 wins, 3 games they showed the fuck up, but it should have been 5 games where they won 4-1, just like what happened to
Right.
Miami in the finals. But they had a hard path. They lost the first game of the play-in, which means last year I'm pretty positive they would have been fucking booted if they had to play in the first game. Yeah, if you
Mm.
lose, you're out. The winner has to play the team on the bye week, so or the bye game, right? Because it was only 3 last year, so they would
Yeah.
have been shipped the fuck out last year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it was, but or maybe the two. I don't fucking know, but yeah, they would have been shipped out last year. They wouldn't even had a chance to play a loser consolidation 8th seed one, but and then to come all the way back and win 3 series to go to the finals is a remarkable. It's a really remarkable thing to do, and all credit to them. But I think they just ran into a juggernaut that showed the whole world what they're going to do for the next couple years, and it was
Yeah.
fun to watch, man. It really was. To be able to do what they did against the defense of Miami, the grit of
Mm.
Miami, uh, is really crazy, and it was really fun to watch. I enjoyed it. Um, I'm excited. The blind pig is going to be ran everywhere, along with the high pick and roll now. But yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So as we move into the future, I'll allow us to be homers for a little bit, and not because just it's
You
no
have a
scopes allowed
time
and
machine?
we're homers all the time, but the two teams that I've seen the most in all of my like research for the off season is the Suns and the Cavs, because for whatever reason, believe it or not, we are two competing teams for this belt, for the title. We've seen the Suns be way out in the open, so we'll start with them. Uh, Chris Paul is will not be on the team after June 28th. The way he's not on the team is still up in the air. And technically, I guess he could come back to us, but not for $30 million. So
Come
as
back
we
to me.
see Phoenix moving forward, obviously we have Durant, obviously we have Booker, and I think we're going to keep Aiden because Vogel said he wants to have a shot with Aiden. He's like, I have a bit of a good record with rim running centers. So which news to him, DeAndre Ayton doesn't run to the rim, but we'll have to fix that, I guess. But he's excited to work with Ayton. I'm sure every coach says that in the beginning. But we're
Will be
definitely moving on from
restricted
Chris
area
Paul.
running.
We talked a bit about it last week, but now that it's kind of started to formulate, it looks like we're trying to trade. And when they said that there's interest. I'm hopeful that there is interest, because even though it's only 15 million and we can spread it out and blah 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 blah, we don't talk about the dumb contract CBA shit on this, but it would be a lot cheaper. I'd still rather get someone back for him, right? But the problem is you're going to get like what, a Kyrie, a James Harden, some of these people that you don't necessarily want. So, what have you been seeing from the Phoenix front about what they're going to do? Because I have a thought that I'm thinking, and we'll see what you say.
Yeah, I think they're going to go out there and try to certify themselves a premier backcourt player. And I don't think they're going to have to lose DeAndre Ayton in doing that. I think Frank Vogel will be able to find a place for Ayton, and I feel like Frank Vogel is a coach that Ayton will be able to get along with.
Mm.
Fresh starts, fresh faces can help out young players, and especially with what seems to be, we don't fucking know DeAndre. We don't know what is in between his ears. We just know what we see and we analyze it, right? That's all we can do. We see it, we know the game of basketball, we analyze what he's doing, and we don't fucking like it. Like, at the end of the day. So I feel like Vogel is a coach that's going to be able to maybe get the best out of him if possible. And lucky for Phoenix, he didn't have to go to a new place to get a fresh start, to see fresh faces, to get fresh coaching in him. And it seems like, I feel like if a motherfucker can get Dwight Howard to actually stop smiling on the basketball court and look mean, I think he'll be able to help DeAndre Ayton start rim running and attacking the rim, and not just attack the front of the restricted area and throw up a stupid ass 4 foot fucking jump baby hook, stupid whatever the fuck you want to call it, the Ayton special. So I think that there is hope and success with Ayton on the roster. And I think that your main focus is getting, because I think you're fine. You definitely missed the Mikal Bridges. You definitely
Mm.
missed the Cam Johnson. But I think you're fine in that 3-4 hole. The way the team's building, the way it's going to be able to shape up in the draft, in the offseason, it's going to be chasing that premier guy that's going to be able to take over that spot for the point guard for the campaign. That's going to be able to get both of their 38 minutes and be able to take campaign back to that 12, 13 minute sweet spot where he was really able to break out a couple years ago.
Right. So do you think that's James Harden? I mean, that's got to be that's the only guy that can play that many minutes and be effective, right? And Even if he's on the Suns, we will continue to talk about his playoff woes. But non-playoff James Harden, sorry, let me rephrase. Non-elimination game James Harden, because he dropped 50 a couple times. He can play, just not in elimination games. That's a guy
Yeah.
that would fit Booker, Ayton, and KD really well, right? That version of him. And when
Absolutely.
you ask him not to do everything, let KD take care of game sevens. You just take care of everything else. Then that could be good.
Yeah, and the dumb basketball fan is going to tell you, no, no, you want somebody that's going to be able to feed Booker and be able to feed AD or KD and be able to feed Ayton down in the paint. So that means you might want the league leader in assists last year.
Right.
Let's go get him. Let's go get him instead. Oh, fuck. It's James Harden. All right, cool. So, yeah, maybe it will work. Maybe let's go get the guy who led the league in assists last year. And oh, yeah, 4 years ago, the motherfucker wasn't breathing unless he was shooting 20 free throws, wasn't breathing unless he was putting up just fucking video game numbers, doing video game shit, making 8 of 10 from 3 while putting up 15 of 16 from the free throw line in the same fucking game while getting 12 assists and winning 135 to 92. Like the shit this dude used to do is insane. And the way he was able to completely shift and change his game for the betterment of the team, for a Joel Embiid to be able to produce, for a Tobias Harris to be able to come out and do his thing, for a Tyrese Maxey to be able to come out and, like produce. James Harden was able to take the back seat and really just become a facilitator. And he was the best at it last season. And if you can get that, and also a guy that has probably the sickest scoring package out of a guy under 6'7" that we've ever seen. Yeah, you want that guy all day long. And again, Frank Vogel is a man of the people. He's going to be able to help out James Harden and everything but his hair.
Yeah, just to hammer home your point a little more, I looked up the numbers and he has averaged over 10 assists for the last 7 years straight. So yeah, he's not MVP Harden. He's not averaging a triple double. He's not leading the league in scoring while getting 10 assists and 8 rebounds a game. That's not who he is. That's fine. We don't need him to be that. Be the 10
Yeah.
assist Harden or 12 assists or whatever you want to do. Dude, he could, if he truly wanted to, he could average probably 20 assists in our games. If he just went for like
Yeah.
15 points, 15 assists, he could do that every single game. No problem whatsoever. Now, that being said, me as just a Suns fan, I don't necessarily want Harden. Um, but me as a Bucks fan didn't want Tom Brady and he won us a ring, so I'm happy with it. So if it happens, whatever. But I'd rather it not be Harden. But the only other rumor I've heard so far is either going to be Harden or Harden decides to stay in Philly, and so we make a trade with the Rockets. Now, I don't know how that would work. I'm not smart enough with the CBA. I'm not smart enough with contracts. But I don't know. Who would we fucking get from the Rockets? It would have to be like KPJ and who makes money on their team? Nobody even makes money on the Rockets. I don't know
No.
who that would have to be.
No, KPJ, Jalen Green, maybe. He seems to be on his way out of Houston.
They would have to sign him
But no,
though to the
I'm
extension first,
Tyrese
right?
Tyrese
So that the
Maxey
money
too
would
is
hit.
another guy. I think Tyrese Maxey is another guy that's a
They're
free
not
agent
getting
over
rid
there in
of.
Philly.
No, it's restricted, I think. They're not getting rid of him.
It's restricted. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, outside of James Harden, he's the obvious answer in a time where there's really no answers at all. Because we're in the no man's land right now. Like we have the draft coming up. And after the draft is really when basketball seems to get kind of in relaxation for what, like a month, and then it starts ramping up. So we're in no man's land, I feel like, right now when it comes to these big these big names coming out with trades and stuff. So it's gonna take some time. We're gonna probably see some teams come out. You know how they throw them the heaters, them
Yeah.
fillers. So we'll start seeing a lot more of those now that the season's over. You'll be listening to this as the parade's going on in Denver, which will officially end the season. I think Friday will cap off the beginning of the off season with a Moran
Nice.
announcement. But Adam Silver's just hanging us by a feather for the
He's
last
letting the
2
Nuggets get their
weeks.
due, bro.
Yeah.
So just before we shift to the Cavs, I searched Chris Paul as I do about 3 times a day just to make sure I sort it by recent news. The news out right now is that the Spurs want to pair him with Victor Wembanyama. Now, again, there's no way. Nobody on their fucking team makes money. But I guess they're probably just waiting for him to get waived if that's the case. And they're just putting out their name in the hat going, we'd love to have you. If you get waived, think about us. Because I don't think they could make that trade. But another name that was popping up when I searched it is Fred VanVleet. I think that would be fucking awesome. I would love to have Fred VanVleet. But he's more of like a campaign plus, you know? Whereas James Harden on his best day is fucking amazing. So let's shift to the Cavs. And you guys have to make a move. You guys have to do something. I mean, technically you don't have to, but if you want to win, you have to. And the
Yep.
obvious answer is trade Jared Allen, right? Like we both love Jared Allen. I know you love Jared Allen, but the obvious answer is trade Jared Allen. I think is the number one. What do you think about that?
I think you could suck my dick from the back.
Then what? Who do you get rid of to make your team better?
We don't. We don't.
So
We're
you lose
set
to
up
the
to
Knicks again because you suck?
no, we have the money to where we can pay one. We already talked about this
I'm
before.
not talking about the money, man.
We can pay one more person a lot of fucking money. And you know who that one motherfucking person should be? Jeremiah Grant. Or Jermaine Grant. How do you say his name? I'm gonna go find it. Whoop, bloop, bloop,
Jeremy.
bloop, bloop.
Jeremy
Oh,
Grant from
you
Portland.
know? Jeremy Grant. Let's
Yeah.
go get that motherfucker. Let's be the tallest team in the world. He can play our
That would
three.
suck.
We had
You
a
guys
tall motherfucker last year, the year before. That would suck.
that would suck. You guys would be trash, bro.
Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Jeremy Grant, fucking Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. That'd be amazing. I'd be so happy with that being my front
They're gonna
five.
trade Jared Allen,
That
bro.
I hope not. If they did that, then we better get
Let's do
fucking
this.
Jakob Pearl or fucking Kristaps, like, or something like that.
Let's see if there's any new rumors. Let's just see. Let's just search Cavaliers trade. Search by past week. See if there's anything.
We're not gonna do shit. I wouldn't mind picking up a Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes would be dope.
Knicks Donovan Mitchell trade chatter has Cavs fans worried. Ooh. I don't know what that would be. What was that like from 3 years ago? Like what sort of fucking trade
No,
would that
because
be?
Donovan. So once Donovan Mitchell's contract's over, he's definitely going to New York. He
No,
wasn't
but
able
what
to
I'm
get a.
saying, what I'm saying is what sort of trade would that be? Because you're not gonna get Julius Randle. You have fucking Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. They're not trading Jalen Brunson because he's the guy. If you fucking trade RJ Barrett for Donovan Mitchell, you should just turn in your Cavs fanship right
No,
away because
it would be like RJ, Josh Hart, fucking what's the other dude?
that would
RJ,
be
Josh Hart.
the worst, bro.
Who's another Knicks guy?
Hartenstein? Hartenstein?
Nah.
Their backup center. Get the Knicks
That
out your
would.
mouth,
Hey,
bro.
yeah.
If they
Julius
fucking
Randle
trade.
get Julius Randle, so Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen for Julius Randle, Josh Hart, and RJ Barrett,
That would
and
suck.
and and picks and
You need
picks.
Donovan Mitchell until he walks on your ass.
Oh yeah, for 2 more years, absolutely.
I'm just
But
saying
nah, we
that
got to
Jared
figure
Allen
out.
is the name that I saw. Jared Allen's probably going to get traded. Um,
We got to figure it out. Kelly Oubre would be cool. We're losing. Hopefully, for the love of God, hopefully we're losing Karis LeVert. In free agency, he is an unrestricted free agent. Hopefully, we lose him. Hopefully. But nah, I don't know, man. Malik Beasley, like there's a lot of good talent out there that could play our three defensively.
yeah.
But to be able to go out and get a guy like Jeremy Grant would be awesome. You think it would suck, but I personally think it would be awesome.
Well,
I
hey,
still
you're the
think
fan, bro.
I think he's a
That's
guy that's still on the up. Um, Still young. He's still coming up. I think he'd be dope. Um, D'Angelo Russell, I don't fucking know. Like we're
that's
stuck.
yeah. The,
We have really great pieces that are really young, and like Evan Mobley's going to be a superstar. Darius Garland has the chance to be a premier all-star in this league. Not a superstar, which I'm fine with, but like a Jimmy Butler type guy. I'm cool with. Donovan Mitchell, not a superstar. Blah blah blah. Motherfucker can drop 40 when he wants to. I think he could be a superstar, but we're just stuck like in limbo. Like we're stuck in that. I don't. What is it like that place people talk like you almost got to heaven, but you got stuck in paradise. Like we almost got to be a championship type team, but we got stuck right there in that 3-4 slot to where we just can't. And I don't think there's an answer. I don't fucking know. I'm just hoping that they're able to figure it out because there's really not a lot for us, right? There's a
how
good
much
bit
does
of
Jared
guards.
Allen get paid? Do you know?
Uh, 20 something. I want to say 21,
That's tough.
but yeah, I think that I don't know. Probably not. It's
Five
probably
year,
like half that.
100 mil. So yeah, 20 a year.
Yeah,
I'm
but
looking because I was trying to find a way to get you um a trade with the the Raptors, and you could trade him for OG Anunoby and Jakob Pertl, but Anunoby makes 17 and Pertl makes 9, so you guys would have to have some sort of space. But you said you have space,
isn't Jakob Pertl on the Spurs though?
not as far as ESPN is concerned. I think he got traded at the trade deadline to the
Oh, he did
Raptors.
get traded. That's right. Yeah, that was
Um,
one of my 8 fucking people that I wasn't able to use for 3 goddamn
so
days
if you
in the
get
fucking
Pertl
playoffs.
and
Sorry
Anunoby,
for
you
the
have
GB.
a big guy that allows Mobley to work inside while he's doing whatever the hell Pirtle does. And then OG Anunoby could be your small forward. That could be something. Make that trade
That could
happen.
definitely be something. Absolutely.
I'm
And we
working the
also got to
trade
figure it
machine,
out.
baby.
We got to figure out our bench as well. Like we have a
Yeah,
couple different
that's
pieces. That would be dope. That would absolutely be dope. And that goes with me thinking we could work out a deal with Toronto with me talking about Pascal last week.
yeah,
But yeah, we both agree we're no way in shape going to show up with a roster that we have right now.
right.
Um, Going back at it, like we both have to pick up something, and it's like we need a major something. It's not
Yeah,
like a Laker team with LeBron and AD, and we're just trying to figure out those couple of pieces to slide in there with those guys. No, we need another AD LeBron type motherfucker on our team to kind of get us there, which is crazy the way the NBA is set up. And but the Nuggets, they have a number 4 overall pick. They have a guy who was an all-star before he tore his fucking knee out, and they have a guy that loves horses more than he loves all the extracurriculars of basketball. He loves basketball and horses.
yeah.
You see all these guys, they want to pop the champagne. They want the parades. This motherfucker just wants to play basketball and ride his horse chariot.
Did you
That's
see
all he cares
Jokic just
about.
like look at the champagne and then put it down on the table?
Yeah,
It's
I
hilarious.
saw somebody made an article. The headline is Jokic looks like the guy at the office party that doesn't want to be there.
Yeah,
And it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. He got into it though. He started throwing them
yeah.
bitches at everybody.
He
He
threw
started
Jamal Murray into the
dousing.
pool. He was having a
Yeah,
good
he
time.
started dousing everybody. Yeah, his brothers were having a great time.
They were having a
But yeah,
great time.
he's looking forward to Friday. He was looking forward to Tuesday. Then he heard about the parade. Now he's looking forward to Friday. But yeah, when you have those type players, and that's hard to find. I mean, it sucks, but like these kids, like I think Devin Booker is a perfect example. Jimmy Butler's ignorant for that Hall of Fame
Yeah, that's dumb.
shit that he was saying, and I think that was more talk. I
He's
think
trying
at
to
the
be
end of the
too
day, he'll
hard
be
now.
there.
He needs to like scale it
Yeah,
back a little bit.
but when you look at these Devin Bookers, right? They look, they want to pop that champagne. They want the confetti. That's what American athletes talk about. NFL, they want to fall down. The players keep the confetti from Super Bowls,
Yep.
from NBA championships. That's what they want. When you have a player who doesn't give a fuck about that, he just wants to win. That is one of the biggest assets you can have. And then that guy being the best player in the game,
Right.
that's crazy. You don't need too much more when that's your center. Unfortunately, our center, like you're talking about, is not the piece. Your center is not the piece. So we need a LeBron type player to come in and
Yeah,
help us out
for
right
sure.
now. But so yeah, we both agree on that. I think you have a more solid answer on what that type is. Even if the name isn't James Harden, you know what type of player you need. We know what
Right.
positions we need. We don't know what's gonna go well with a young Donovan Mitchell's only 26, Darius Garland's 24, I think. Evan Mobley's 22. Like we don't know what these pieces need. So and you have Kevin Durant, you have Devin Booker, you know where you're going. We're just kind of in that point, like, all right, we know we're a 3-4 seed. Now what? Now how can we
Right.
and it's going to take a while. After watching these NBA playoffs, watching what the Heat were able to do, it's going to take a while for my Cavs to be able to turn that page to find that extra gear on the bicycle that they can never really turn it to. They have to
Right.
get to that 13th gear somehow. And I mean, I'm here for it. I've been through worse. I've been through
Right.
Zujunas Ilgauskas being our best player. I've been through fucking drafting LeBron. I've been through losing LeBron. Like, I'm down with being in limbo as a 3 seed. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, right.
Of
Just
course,
keep making
we were a
playoffs.
4 seed, but we're a 4 seed that
Yeah, just
loses to
keep
a
making
fucking
the
5 seed.
playoffs and we're happy. Obviously, I want to win with
Exactly.
this core that I have, but I'm set up for failure with the Suns. I know what to expect, but we're moving forward. All right, so let's shift gears and let's talk about us now. I know that loves to Joe, and the rest of our fans. Maybe there's one named John loves to hear about
Whose
our
name is my
endeavors
name?
into the rec. You finally had your first game, so let's let you go first. How'd your game go,
I
man?
did.
What went down?
Started out hot. Not really hot. I mean, I guess we did. I think we made our first like 3 or 4 baskets on our
Backets?
first 3 or 4 possessions. But defensively we're good. We just haven't played together. We played a team who's played together for a long time,
Hmm.
and it was kind of bittersweet that their main player Manny was out. He's a guy who gets 5 fouls, 6 fouls every game. Usually fouls out. So probably could have got to the line more. But that was a game. We lost by 2. I will say that it was our first game of the season. We played one of the I think them and the Sixers have the most players that have played together for the most years. They have, and they were 1 win away from the championship last year, as the Trailblazers were. But they had four four guys on the court that have played together for at least 2 or 3 seasons, and that showed up at the end of that game. They just knew where people would be. They knew like what kind of style they wanted to run there at the end, and their team that's always on pressure, always running. And oh yeah, we had a guy go 1 for 13 from the free throw line,
Hmm.
which is probably at the end of the day the reason, but I'll never put it on one person. If I will, I'll put it on myself. I had a late turnover at the end of that game when we were tied. Actually, we were down 2 at the end of that game. I took the last shot. I didn't go up for the make. I was hooked. I went up knowing I was fouled. Not trying to get ball in basket, trying to show ref contact. Didn't call it because apparently we just got a break. I don't want to hear that shit when it's the last shot of the fucking game. Call the game the right way. I don't want to have Pat Bev come out and show you the camera that it was a foul. But there was a couple things. Um, the the what is it called? Um, ineligible pass inbounds, some stupid shit they called that. That was absolutely atrocious. I was handing it to the guy out of bounds, and he was about to hand it to the ref, and the ref called that like I was out of bounds and I was nowhere near it. A couple of rough things, but at the end of the day, you want one of your main guys that's able to do it to sink those free throws. You want to be up 15 to where that last minute turnover doesn't matter. You want that invalid inbound pass not to matter. You want to be able to miss 12 free throws and still win by 10. But at the end of the day, this game of basketball in our league, there's not a lot of room for error. And when you make mistakes late, when the refs make mistakes late, and it's hard to come back from that. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, we had hella mistakes. We had 1 for 13 from the free throw. I think we went like 7 of 20 something from the free throw. So at the end of the day, as a team, we fell short. We made a couple of mistakes, and we only lost by 2. If
Yeah.
you talk about it, just person to person, not talking about the score, you're like, damn, bro. So what happened? Oh, it was 50-48. Like they
Right.
didn't score in the last minute of the game. They scored, I think, 3 times in overtime. But yeah, it was a rough one. It was a rough one, but thankfully it was the first one. It's not like it's halfway through the season and we get gut
Right.
punched like that. It's the first one. None of us, nobody, has played on that team together. Me and Zach have played together in that league before, and we all know about that. 3 of the guys played together in high school 15
Jeez.
years ago. So like we haven't played together. We don't really know each other's tendency. But now we know what we want to do. And yeah, so hopefully we'll go out there fire. And I did go 1 for 2 from 3. And yeah, I felt good. Body felt good. Felt like I could have kept running. But we know what we want to do. We'll see what McCool wants this week out of us on the bench. I think I need to be out there more, be utilized more as a shooter, and even more so just as a threat, so Don can get in there and be big, and Wyatt can be big. They were able to kind of shrink in too much because we weren't trying to shoot from the 3
Mm.
until the end of that game. But we'll get it going. We're a good team. Uniforms are in.
Nice.
New shoes are in. So, look good, feel good, play good, pay good, live good, die good. So we'll get there. Week 2's over. I'm averaging 3 points a game, which
There you
is
go.
um point 0.1 more than last year. I think I averaged 2.9 last year.
Nice.
So already doing better than last year, baby. I got a block in, which really pisses me off. I fucking hacked the shit out of Ozzy. Said sorry to him. Turned around to hand the ball to the ref for the shoot two. Nah, they call block out of bounds. So I got a block.
Man, yeah, I
So that's
don't.
cool.
I hate that shit too.
I had a
I
clean. I
basically
had a
call
clean
my own
ass rip.
fouls.
I had a
Yeah.
clean ass rip that I got with my fucking the clean as shit. What? I had an assist that they missed. I didn't see it on the website. I'm gonna tell them about
Yeah.
that to fix. But overall, great game from everybody there. What I saw out of everybody I liked. What I saw out of Zach I liked. What I saw out of Phil, Don, Wyatt, Connor. Only thing with Connor, knee was tweaked. Wasn't able to be Connor.
Mm.
Connor's a 15 point a game guy. Put up an Owen. Like I think it was 0-3.
Mm.
Put up 0 points. But we're all right. We're crippled. We're old, but we'll be all right.
Right.
It's once a
No,
fucking week.
I think that's a good. Obviously, losses never feel like wins. I know that people that don't play sports will say that all the time, like, "Oh, that's a loss, but that should feel like a win." No, losses never fucking feel like wins. But
No.
when you look at it, it's the first game of the season, like you said, you were playing against a team that just lost in the championship and was able to do what you could against them and have a shot at the end. Like that's fucking huge. That's a big builder. You guys, like you said, could learn tendencies from that and keep going. So I think that's good. I think you guys are on the right track and just keep on finding that confidence, finding that groove, figure out where your teammates want to be. That's fucking the thing to be. It's important.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the season, if Wyatt, he's rusty, he hasn't played in a long time. If he can get back into it, because he still plays volleyball. He said like he has hops.
Mm,
If he can get
nice.
back into jumping and grabbing instead, because he was going up one hand, and I'm like, listen, I know you're used to that right now. You got give me 2 hands, bub. And I talk to these players like I'm fucking one of the fucking Van Gundy brothers. Like I know what the fuck I'm
Nice.
doing, legitly. But I'm like, bro, I need you to jump up with 2 hands, like I'm the coach and shit. And but once that starts coming, I think we have him as one of the best big men in the league, other than that Langley dude who put up 20 something rebounds a couple weeks
Nice.
ago. He's the biggest dude in the league. But I think he'll be the best interior guy, like defensively rebounds type shit. And then Don, I think, is just going to end up being the best player in the league. He can shoot threes at a high rate, and he's really big, really gifted, really skilled inside as well. And like Wyatt said, he's going to be out of town the game we play. The biggest dude in the league, and I was like, Don, I'm gonna need you to pull that Draymond package out, bro.
Oh
He's like,
snap!
no problem.
Yeah,
He's like, no problem. He'll be neutralized. So he has that confidence to go down and play big boy ball, which is my biggest fucking thing about this league. If I was 6'5", 230, 40 pounds, you would never see me outside the fucking free throw line. Every motherfucker over
yeah.
6'3" in this league is a fucking active shooter.
Ours too.
It's
Ours
stupid.
too.
It's dumb. But we're all old. Like I get these 20-year-olds. Steph ruined the game. I get it.
Yeah.
I go to the fucking Y. I go to the rec centers and stuff. Like I go to open gyms. I see it. I get it. But bro, when you grew up in the fucking 90s and you're that fucking tall and you were tall your whole life, what? You just switched up? Why? Because you were in the league for 10 years and you had to find a way to fuck. Oh, I'm looking the wrong way. Because you were fucking 10 years in the league and had to find a way to last 3 or 4 more, so you had to become a perimeter shooter? No, bitch, you're in a big guys rec league. Be big.
I know the name of the league
All
is
right.
Big Guys. You got to go be big. Yeah. So
Wear a
we.
mouthpiece trying to be big with my little 6 foot ass with a fucking 5-inch vert.
My doctor, I went to the doctor today and he once again confirmed that I'm not quite 6 feet. I tried to get him to write it on there. He's like, you're a little short of 6 feet. And I was like, no, you mean 6 feet, right? He was like, well, that's like a half an inch. I was like, that's like six
Yeah.
feet, right?
So in my pictures, and I was going through the wedding pictures, the one of us standing right beside each other, I was like, I still got that little happy.
Yeah, it sucks, man. I just tried to get everybody to write
I don't
6
think
foot.
I'm not 6 foot. My ID. So I've never updated my ID from when I got it. Like my official one. I think after Dad passed away, I updated all my information and stuff
Yeah.
when I went and got my license because it got suspended when I was in high school because I was stupid. Well, I just didn't go to school. Lori wasn't going to tell me what to do. But where the fuck were we going? Oh yeah. So I looked at this the other day. I've never got my stuff updated, right?
Yeah.
My height is 6'1".
Hey.
There ain't no way, bro. I'll take my shoes off right now with everything compressed and crooked and shit. I'm like
I know.
5'10", 5'11",
I know my
maybe.
back doesn't help at all. I tried to
And I
stand
was
up as
never
tall
six.
as I could today.
I was 6'1" in shoes. Like I'm six
Right.
one in shoes.
I
And my
think they
cleats, I
just
was like
ask you
six
for
one,
the
6'2".
license. When I got my license here in California, she was like, "How tall are you?" I was like, 6 foot. She was like, "All right, 6 foot." So now my
Yeah,
license
but
is
I used to
six
be able to
foot
get it.
fifty.
If I told people nowadays, like, yeah, bro, I'm 6'1", they would start dying laughing at me and
Yeah.
tell me to stop lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so our rec team matched your fate. We decided to say, "Oh, my boy Seal lost by 2. Let's also lose by 2." But we too had one that the media world would say was a loss that felt like a win. We were facing an undefeated top of the table team, and this was the team. I think they're a little bit different, but it's the same team that remember my very first season when I said, "Bro, we're in a fucking rec league and this team pressed us full court press the entire fucking game." That was this fucking team. Again, I don't know if it was all the same people, but there were it was the same core squad and they were full court pressing us the entire fucking game. It's so annoying. It still annoys me. Um, we got down fast, like you do against a full court press team when you're a fucking lazy ass old team. You're like, what are you guys doing? And we were like, you know what? Fuck, we're not going to lose by 30 again like we did a couple seasons ago. We kept grinding, kept fighting. We were like, listen, they are old too. They cannot run the whole time. They're expecting us to get tired. They're going to get tired too. Let's just keep using fresh legs. We had 8 people. We had our full squad. So we're just subbing people out running. As soon as you get tired, sub them out, using our timeouts, blah, blah, blah. Come to look at it, there was like 6 minutes left in the game. We were down by 6. We were like, oh shit, we could do this, guys. Like, we're here. We hit back-to-back threes to tie it up. And then I hope he doesn't listen to this podcast. He would probably admit to it. The worst guy on our team, he's super athletic, but he's not a basketball player. He's like a rec league player. He's like, you playing soccer? I'll do it. You playing football? He loves to run. He loves to have fun. And so he's out there. He gets a rebound. It's tied. He gets a rebound, calls off basically everybody. He just starts dribbling it. We're like, oh shit, don't do this, Tyler. He just dribbles, gets across half court, looks up, fakes a pass, takes 2 like Euro steps from the half court to the 3-point line and throws up a shot from the top of the key, banks it in. And we were just like, oh shit. Okay. And he's like, yeah, I did it.
Oh my god.
So we're up. So we're going back and forth now. So we had the lead, and um we were down 1 with like 28 seconds left. We were like, all right, guys. We hang our hat on defense. So just take the first shot we get. If they don't give it to you, we'll take the last shot. Well, they were hounding us, not giving it to us. So we end up getting fouled with 2 seconds left. We make both free throws, go up 1 with 2 seconds left. They call the timeout. So they get it at half court. They throw it to a guy. By the way, this is important. There's 2 seconds left on the fucking clock. The guy was running to the basketball. He catches it, swings around a screen at half court, pump fakes a guy, comes underneath, steps, and heaves up this half court fucking shot. Longest 2 seconds of my life. Banks it in. Fucking revenge for Tyler doing some bullshit bank. Banks it
Oh
in.
my
2
god.
banks from the front of the fucking rim in one game. It's fucking stupid. So we ended up losing by 2. It hurt. It always hurts to lose. This team, I'm in my 4th season, and we now have 4 buzzer beater losses. 3 buzzer beaters that the other team has hit the shot, 1 buzzer beater that we missed. But all 4 of them, we are 0-4 in buzzer beaters. So it hurts every time. The team is 1-3 this year, but 2 of them were buzzer beaters, and 1 of them was without Carlos. So it sucks. But we're on a tough stretch
Yeah.
right now. We just faced an undefeated team. Next week we face another undefeated team, and the week after that we face another, at least currently, undefeated team. So there's only 3 undefeated teams in the league. We faced them in 3 straight weeks. So we're on a grind, but the way that the team fought, man, like, no lie, that team would have been one that beat us by 25, 30 points, just because that full court press, we would have had about 20 turnovers. We would have given up. We would have just started heaving threes. We didn't do any of that shit. We just said, all right, let's stay with them. They're going to get tired. They started being short on their threes, and we did our thing. But it just sucks to fucking lose, man. I want to continue to get my cardio up. It felt so nice having 8 people there, but it fucking sucks sitting on the sideline watching your teammates do shit when you're like, I could fucking be out there, but I'm tired. This fucking sucks. So I'm trying
Yeah.
to be out there longer. But other than that, I mean, the team played well. I just like you again. I matched you again. I was 1 for 2, and just played good defense. Did my thing. I had some sweet ass assists. I had one that the other team like jumped out of their seats. It wasn't like a flashy assist, but it was just a real fast, no look like tap pass that like Jonathan Goodwin used to do. And they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit," to our center down low for an easy basket. So I'm starting to get the feel of my game again, and that feels good. I just got to get the cardio aspect, because now that the feel's there and the touch is there and the vibe is there, now I just need the breath, and I'm ready. I'm back.
Nice. Next week we play a team, another team who's pretty good with each other. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys who were on the team last year, and they have
Mm,
a big dude and a Messiah. He's not really the point scorer, but he's a big motherfucker, and he's a point scoring threat. And then
mm.
Casey, I think he's one of the better scorers in the league. We played them, but they're not historically, they're one of those New York teams who hang their fucking hats on being good when the league first fucking started. Um, when it was just them in it. But no, we play them. I think it'll be a good bounce back game. They have good players. They have guys that'll help us determine, like, find our bar, see where we're
Nice.
set at for the rest of the season. And then right after that, I think we bounce back and play the big dude. But it'll be good. We're the 6:30 game. I like the 6:30 game. It's not the
Mm.
last one, so I'm not hanging around all fucking night waiting until uh, 8 o'clock to play. So it'll be fun. I'm excited for it. It'll be good. And I just had a little thought. I'm about to text Connor right now. If we can, this kid Phil is really good defensively. I think we should get him just pull a Caleb Martin and just 3-quarter press him the whole game.
Yeah, we switched up our defense. Like we're just getting so much more. To your point about earlier, where you said that these other people have played with each other so long. We have now played with each other so long that we're able to start really getting the feel. Like I can make that no look touch pass because I know where Carlos is going to be, and it's things like that that we couldn't have done if we were in our very first game like you guys were. So those types of things are going to come, and it feels good when they do come. But now, like I said, man, my next challenge to myself is to fucking get some cardio. I'm tired of just talking shit about it. Um, my shot is good enough now. I focused on my shot so long because I needed to get it back. It's a make or miss league, right? My shot's good enough. Going 1 for 2 is fine. If I shoot fucking 50%, that's better than anybody else in the league. So I'm happy with that. So now it's cardio. I just gotta fucking lateral movement and cardio. I got to be able to stay on the floor and I got to be able to defend people. And because the guy that made that half court shot, I was guarding him and I guarded him fine. I had a hand in his face that I was mostly trying not to foul. If you want to shoot from the circle, I'm gonna let you shoot from the circle. But I needed to be able to be in front of him because my hand was in his face, but I was to the side of him, you know? So if I could have kept him in front of me, he wouldn't have even got a clean shot. So um, just cardio and lateral movement. That's my next main workout goal.
Hell yeah, I think my biggest thing right now is just gonna be flex. I have to get flexible first before I even try to get strength in my legs. Like what's the point of adding muscle?
If
Which
you don't
I don't know if
unlock it.
yeah, if people don't know this, muscles they like to tighten up, which make you what's it called? Non-pliable,
Yeah.
which just means you can't fucking stretch. So I already have a problem without being a stretch with literally no glutes, uh, no quads, no back or quads. Uh, I
Backer
have no
quads.
muscle. I have calves. My calves are finally looking good again now that she fucking needled them and got the rocks out. Like there's a little, I can't see, but there's a nice cut on the inside too. There's that little bulge that's supposed to be there that I
Nice.
haven't had since I was like fucking 20.
Mine are fake
Yeah, it's
big though.
finally
Mine are big but not strong.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, fucking get them rocks needled. But so I think my biggest thing is gonna be flexibility and conditioning before anything else.
Yeah. Like I said, I needed the 3 because my team needed me to make the threes. But if I can rely on myself, and now I feel good to making threes. I made like 5 in the warm up period, which is only like a few minutes. So I'm confident. I just need to shoot more.
Yeah,
But
and I need to
now
get
it's
my
just
kids to like go with me to the court and like grab broom handles and stuff
yeah.
and just pass me the ball and just run up, hey, 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 so I can start fucking. Because the other day, my anxiety has been really bad. We talked about the radio station last week. We're not getting into all this shit, but my anxiety has been really bad as of late, and just trying to deal with that high pressure moment and not let my anxiety get the best of me. Because in that moment, all I heard was hey, 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 hey,
Yeah.
hey, and I look up, saw a hand, try to throw that bitch left-handed like Tim Tebow, and it didn't really work out that well.
I had a couple of stupid ass turnovers like that too, but
But I don't
we'll
ever
continue
do
to
them.
get
I don't
better.
ever do stupid ass turnovers except at the end of the game when it matters. Like that's the only time I'm
Yeah,
like, fuck
same.
it.
Same. All right, so who are we gonna shoot out? Shoot out. Shout out here. John Moran announcement has not been made yet. Who are we gonna shout out here as we get out of here?
Damn, I had a good one.
The one you mentioned before the pod? I don't
What was it?
remember. I don't remember. I was
I
gonna
don't
shout out
either.
Jeff Green and Ish Smith, but then you came up with the other one.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
I don't remember. Do I? What was? I don't remember.
I honestly don't remember either.
We can
Um,
shout out Christian Brown for being a fucking winner.
Well, sure. Yeah. Christian Brown just knows how to win. But I want to shout out because it kind of relates to our real life. Shout out to Jeff Green and shout out to Ish Smith. These dudes are winners now. Uh, Ish Smith has been on 13 teams in 13 years. Jeff Green was what, 12 teams in 14 years? Something like that. And they finally got a ring. So it's just one of those things where when life continues to seem to count you out, like you're not getting it done, you keep getting cut, you keep getting fired from your job or let go, or your girl leaves you or whatever, boy, I don't know who listens to this podcast, leaves you, and you just keep feeling down and out. Don't stop fighting, man. Just keep pushing, keep doing what it is you got to do. Do what makes you better and keep doing you, and you'll end up being on the winning side like Jeff Green and Ish Smith were, because they just had tenacity. So have tenacity, be like Jeff Green, be like Ish Smith, and as always, be a stud, not a scrub. And Seal, you can add to it and then say it
It
again.
was Jeff Green. 10 years ago, dude had open heart surgery. I
Mm.
forget what it was. Um, but fighting for his life, to have to go through that, to have to rehab that. I mean, anybody who has open heart surgery can't go out the next day and get back into professional sports shape. So to rehab through that, to get back at it, to end up in Cleveland a year after we won the championship, and thinking he's coming into a championship type place. No, sir, you have Isaiah Thomas as your point guard. Uh, Shit's not going to be like it was last year. This is actually probably going to be LeBron's last year. Oh yeah, it is. Uh, so he came in 2018 for a year, and I just feel like he's really always been dragged through the mud in his NBA career, and not ending up in the best situations. For them to pick him up and again stick with him, and not let him fall through the cracks, and to keep and retain him, is really amazing. And the fact that he was able to do this 10 years after having open heart surgery, after fighting for his life, it really it is a lot, and it goes to attest to the, if you are going through things like this, if you are going through, man, I'm 27 years old and I have cancer, or like, damn, like I have to have open heart surgery because of something that could give me a heart attack. What the fuck? I'm only 32. Like, just think about stuff like this. Like, 10 years from now, it could just be a highlight in the story of your success, of your legacy. Just be one of those chapter markers in your autobiography that you write years from now. Don't get hung up on what's going on right now. Don't get stuck on that. Definitely be like Jeff Green and go out there and stay committed and stay on the grind and be a stud, not a scrub.
Hey.